Damas y caballeros, ladies and gentlemen, bienvenidos al show Vida en Cero Gravedad. Life in Zero Gravity. Tú sabes las vibras. You know the vibes by now. I'm coming on you from a different angle this week. I'm feeding you, my little birds, my baby birds from up above. I'm feeding you this cum. You know the vibes. I know I play a lot, but we have a good time. And last week's episode was long. That's long for solo. 2 hours. That's a long boy. That was a long boy there. You felt the length of it, you know. But honestly, it was a lot. I told you I'm not going to keep speaking about it. If you know the topic, I would go. If you really want to get, if you're somebody that is actually interested in me personally and the stuff I've been through, that's a good episode for you. I do think it was funny and engaging, but like, it was a lot. It's not for everyone. Most definitely not for everyone. Definitely not for one person in particular would probably really hate that episode, aka the person that a lot of the episode was about. But we ain't gonna talk about that, right? I just decided I gotta change up the angles. I gotta do something different every once in a while, you know. This angle is weird. Let's just observe. But my listeners, my viewers, both of y'all, all of y'all, everybody, you're all welcome to the show. Quick story I was gonna get into. So I was pulling into a store parking lot with a car. There's a Porsche 911 next to me, right? We're both pulling in at the same time. They pull in all the way, like far away from everyone in the parking lot because they didn't want anyone parking next to them. You know, they got an expensive car, nice car. They don't want to run the risk of anyone hitting it or anything. If you know me, you probably know what my thought was at that time. I was like, I should park next to them. I knew what they were doing. Like, they're trying to avoid everybody else. I just thought it would be funny, but then I remembered how crazy people are on the road. We'll get into that. But I just decided that wasn't probably not a good idea. Probably not worth it. It would be funny, but you never know. People snap. People just go absolutely nuts on the road. Something about getting in that big piece of metal on wheels gets people just gets their juices flowing, and they say and do crazy things on the road. I'm gonna get into that. I used to drive for Amazon. Not shout out to Amazon. It was a terrible time. I ain't gonna lie. It was probably my roughest job overall. You know, just working 10 to 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, just gassed. Just like nonstop work. You finish your work, guess what you get? You get rewarded with more work. And I was doing that for like 15 an hour. That's not good. I mean, a lot of my hours were not 15 an hour. A lot of my hours were like 1.5 times that, because a lot of my hours were overtime there. It was a crazy amount of overtime there. I remember in a 2-week period once, I worked 130 hours. Now you do the math on that. 14 days, 130 hours. It was ridiculous. It was just a lot of work, you know, and not like just very labor intensive. But anyway, I'm not gonna get into all that. The only reason I brought up Amazon was because I was gonna tell y'all some stories about my time at Amazon. So one story that I had was there was an Asian woman that I parked next to. First mistake. No, I'm just playing. And don't say I know what you're thinking. I know. You're thinking there's going to be some racism here. And the answer is yes. Very mildly. No, there's not racism. It's relevant to the story because it makes it funnier. It's like when I went to Texas and I saw that they had a hospital. There's an ad for this hospital, and in Texas, they're all about that cowboy life. But on the, on the ad for the hospital, all the doctors were wearing cowboy hats, and I just thought of like, let's say you wake up from a coma and you're in that hospital and like everyone has cowboy hats on. I'm getting the hell out of that hospital. Like, I'd be terrified. Hey y'all, we decided to just cut your head open, take a look at your brain. Like, it doesn't instill a lot of confidence, Whereas like if I heard someone with an Asian accent at my hospital, somebody that had like, Chinese accent, Japanese accent, Indian accent, any accent on the Asian continent, I'd be like, okay, I'm in good hands. I'm okay. So don't say it's racist. It ain't racist. Okay. I'm just getting that out of the way up front. Motherfuckers. I can't be cursing on here like that. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I stopped labeling these videos as being for kids. There might be one that's labeled for kids that's not. I don't know. I mean, I don't really curse a lot anyway. I think I can kind of get away with it. So I'm not like cursing the entire episode, This is good for kids to learn about. It's good for kids to learn about what is and isn't racism. But anyway, yeah. So I parked next to this Asian woman in like this parking lot. She parked really shitty, like on the line, and so I'm in a big ass cargo van, like parked next to her to deliver this package, or I think it was multiple packages for this office building. It was like a bank. It was one of those bank office buildings. Like there's like a little bank in there, but then like there's other, like, I don't know, all types of like usually medical offices inside of there for different things. I saw, New Jack was at the penis enlargement clinic. No, I only say that because he might watch this. But anyway, so I'm at this. I get out and she parked so closely and it was the only space open. And like I had, it's a tiny parking lot. If I don't park in the space, I'm gonna be blocking everyone. Like if I did that thing where I put my hazards on and all that, I didn't want to do that. So I decided to park legally, and in doing so, I'm like right next to her car because she parks so badly, and she's in like a BMW SUV, whatever. So I open the door very, very softly, and I realize like, I'm going to have to put the door, like there's not enough space for me to get out unless it's touching her car. So I do that. It's touching her car and I do it so gently, like, because I'm not trying to like damage her car, like honestly, I could have opened it however I wanted to and it would have been on her. It's like, you parked badly. Nothing I can do about that. Like, you parked badly. You could have parked better. This is why you don't park bad. So, I get out I get out the car after pressing against her door. I didn't realize she was in the car. So she gets out. She says, "Hey, what your problem, dude?" And I'm just like, I just don't say anything and go inside because I'm like, at this point, I'm already a veteran of Amazon, and like most of the customer interactions are fine. I mean, she wasn't a customer, but interacting with the public a lot of times doesn't go that well. I'm like, okay. So I start going inside. Then I think about it, and I realize like she's kind of being unstable because she was talking about me hitting her car and all that, and like I didn't hit her car, like, yeah, technically it touched your car. I didn't damage your car. I did it as softly as I could, and it's on you for parking badly. There's nothing I can do about that, like you didn't leave enough space for someone to get out. Like what was the end game there? You're just gonna park there for hours and no one can park next to you because you park badly? Like, that ain't right. That ain't right. So what are you tripping about? So anyway, I start to leave the scene, but then I think about it and I'm like, this person seems a little unhinged. Let me make sure everything's cool. So I look back and I see her keying the van, and I start taking pictures of her to prove that it's her, and she's like cursing, she's saying something. I think she was cursing me out and leaving. So I look, and she carved the word ass into the side of the van. Like, and I'm glad, like, I got her license plate and everything, because, you know, I could have technically got in trouble for that. Like, I don't know why they would think I would carve ass into my own van, but you never know. So it was just a wild interaction, you know. I didn't understand it, you know, but people get crazy. One guy just started, like, I'm in Anaheim, or some call it Anacrime, the home of Disneyland, but it's actually not that nice of a city, really. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's like, it's not like this, like, super safe place. Like, it actually, it's slightly rough out there a little bit. Like, there's super nice parts of it, but it's also parts that, I mean, I've been in like probably every part of that city delivering packages, because most of my deliveries would be in Orange County, you know. So I'm delivering. I get out the van. I got my like metallic gray Amazon shirt on with the smile, the fucking, you know, little smile face, whatever that is, smiley face box thing logo. You know what I'm talking about, the Amazon smile thing. So I get out, and this guy just starts swinging on me right away. Just like, where you from, homie? He just starts swinging on me. Where the fuck you from? And like, I'm able to, like, he misses the first one, then I'm able to duck under the second one, but he clips the back of my head, you know, like, just barely. And I'm just thinking, like, where the fuck you think I'm from? I'm coming out of a cargo van. I'm wearing like basically business office attire. Like, I don't know. I guess that could be that could be a gang in Orange County, right? It's Orange County. But like, for real, like, you really thought that I was like doing something like that? And I I regret not just knocking him out on the spot at this point, because I told Amazon they didn't do anything about it. Amazon is just, they don't take care of their employees. Everyone knows that. So like, this guy, you know, he swung on me, and he actually did, like, I think he made some scratches on like the back of my neck here. It's a very sensitive part of your body, you know, like getting hit in the back of the head. Like, he clipped it like this, you know, like he clipped it. It wasn't like he like full on like popped me like that in the back of the head. He was swinging a hook, and it missed mostly, but it just like grazed, like, you know, the side. I kind of regret not just knocking him out then, you know. I should have, because he was so open and he was so slow with his punches. Like, the fact that, like, when he starts swinging on me, I'm looking away, and the fact that I'm able to like see the punch coming and duck under it enough to barely get clipped by it, that's bad, son. You had like free shots, and you didn't do anything with them. If I had that much of a free shot on someone, they'd be KO'd. Like, you know, that punch wouldn't have knocked me out anyway. Well, I've never been knocked out. I've never even been dropped, honestly, but definitely wouldn't be knocked out by that, you know. So that was another incident. Oh man. And then there was this like one time I was in a neighborhood and there's nowhere to park, so I'm like, I parked the van just to drop off this package. It's like the last package on that street, I think. So I drop it off, but I didn't put my hazards on. You're supposed to put your hazards on, right? This guy gets out of he like is driving by and like yelling at me to put hazards on. So I flip him off. I'm just like, I don't know why this guy's being a dick. You know, I think nothing of it. You know, yeah, I should have put the hazards on. Do you need to yell at someone for that? Like, that's kind of ridiculous, you know? Like, yeah, I guess I inconvenienced you slightly in the time that basically what I did, I just got the package, went to the door, dropped it off, went back. Like, it's less than a minute, you know? I'm sorry you happened to be coming at that time, you know? And yeah, I should have put the hazards on, but that's not a good reason to yell at someone. Like, you could have had some more awareness and seen that that's what I was doing, you know? So I don't know what the problem was, but anyway, I flipped him off, didn't think much of it. I go into the next neighborhood. He's waiting there. He's with his daughter, like his like teenage daughter. He's waiting there, and he's like threatening me. And then he starts like, I get out and I'm like, I can't hit this guy though, because I'm on the clock. And I kind of regret not clocking him too, honestly. He's an older guy. He had gray hair, but I'm like, he should have learned a lesson. Like, you can't just be doing that to people. You can't just start swinging on people and shit, like, for, like, inconveniencing you by not putting hazard lights on. Like, that's ridiculous. So I didn't do anything to him either, but he actually, like, I just, like, walked away, and he was pushing me, and he actually pushed my, as I'm getting into the van, he pushed the door into my arm, and it scratched my arm up. And then at that point, I think I was, like, ready to fight him, but I decided not to. I was like, all right, you took it too damn far now. Like, now you're actually causing, like, physical harm. And I think I got out, and I just cursed him out and got back in, you know. But I wanted to just lay him out after that too, because I was like, what are you doing, man? And this guy's like a head shorter than me. It's like, how do you think this is gonna end? Like, I'm in like my 20s, and you got to be in your 50s at the youngest. You know, it's like, you're gonna get wrecked. Like, what are you? I kind of just felt bad for the guy, I guess. The other guy who was swinging on me, I think he was like probably like 30s. He was like around my age at that time. But the older guy, I'm just like, what were you thinking? Like, honestly, did you really think like you could beat me? Like, I'm not a small person, you know. I don't know what you were thinking, and the little pushes that you were doing didn't do anything to me. It's only because you pushed like a door into my arm and it like scratched it up. That's when I wanted to wreck you, but I didn't do that. Another time, I think it's the last incident, yeah, that I can think of. There's a guy. So I was driving. I was gonna pull into a shopping center, and I'm getting into the lane, and I guess I didn't put my blinker on to turn into the shopping center. So this guy honks at me. I don't think much of it. I'm just like, what? Like, I think I put my hand up, like, what? Like, for real? It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, okay, I should have put it in there. I got into the turning lane to go in there without putting my turn indicator on, but it wasn't like a real necessary thing. I usually am good about that. I happened to miss it this time, like, but it wasn't a big deal. It's like, you knew, I mean, you're behind me, so it's like, you're trying to get in front of me, I guess, and you don't like that I didn't put my blinker on. Like, it's just stupid. So I do that. The guy follows me into the shopping center, gets out, gets in my face, and he's like, I want to say he got in my face, like we were face to face. It was really like he was like fucking chest to face, because I'm a tall person, you know. I'm 6'3", so I'm taller than like 95% of guys out there, or more, maybe even. I know it's, I think it's actually more technically. Yeah. So anyway, I get out. And he, like, I'm getting out to deliver. He gets in my face and he starts calling me a bitch and all this stuff. And like, and his family's there. Like, he had like his wife or whoever it was, his girl and his baby. I don't know if it was his wife or not, but whoever that was, like, they're in the car. And I'm like, I'm just thinking, like, what are you doing, man? Like, why are you putting them in this position over like me not putting a blinker on to turn into a parking lot when it really wasn't necessary. Like, the way the lane was set up, like, where you either keep going straight or you just like slightly veer into that. It wasn't a big lane. It was just like a little tiny turn spot to go into a shopping center. And this guy starts tripping and like wants to fight me over it. I'm like, I'm not gonna fight you, man, like, over that. So he eventually goes back to his car. And as he's walking away, I trip a little, and he points at me and is like, ha 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 ha. And I'm like, all right, motherfucker, all right, come on now. Like, then I was annoyed. I'm like, and he was calling me a bitch again. I'm like, all right, now you want to see what's gonna happen? Like, that was like the last straw. I'm like, I already been cool to you because you already got in my face and like called me a bitch and all this stuff. And like, that's already not cool, but I'm not gonna do anything because I'm on the clock, and I think you know that. It's the only reason why you feel that bold. You know you get fucked up any other time, you know. Especially because, like, you're tiny. Like, you're, like, way down here. You're a tiny guy. Like, you don't want to do that. It's like a little chihuahua or something, you know. Like, I'll slap you around. Don't try it. Like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking right now? How are you thinking this is gonna go? I promise you, it's not gonna go how you think it's gonna go. So chill, chill. But they're tripping, man. Anyway, that's my stories. That's my stories for it. My old Amazon stories. I'm gonna get into all the other stuff I got planned. Cough button. I want to see how that worked. I have a cough button on this mic. I mean, I don't cough a lot, so I was gonna say unless I'm smoking. I don't even cough if I'm smoking. Got the iron lungs, son. So anyway, I watched to get ready for John Wick 4. I watched John Wick's 1 through 3. I gotta say, I know I seen the first one before. I don't know if I seen the other two before this. They maintain the quality so well on those movies. So I think I'd give the first the edge just slightly. You know, I think I'd give the first one 9 Zeus slaps, God. 9 Zeus slaps. It's a very solid action movie. I think the story was a little more interesting, or at least more. It was presented more in the first. The other two, well, really all of them are just action packed. It's like kind of crazy how much action there is, but it doesn't feel excessive. It's just like the movie, the storytelling, the story's told through action. So the whole movie's just a big action sequence. And the 2 and 3 are even more like that than the first one. But I would say the first one, I probably give that the edge. So I give that one a 9. I give 2 an 8. I give 3. 3 was a little better than 2, but a little better than 2. But I think I'll give it an 8.5. I'm gonna start adding. I'm gonna do more half Zeus slaps. I'll give it 8.5 Zeus slaps. 3, right? I think that's fair. I've heard the fourth one is the best one, so we're gonna see. And the thing that's interesting is it's not like they're not super groundbreaking movies. They're just very well done. Like the fight choreography is great. Keanu really knows how to do all that stuff. Like he really learned martial arts. He really learned how to shoot like that. Like I know you've seen the videos of him at the shooting ranges where he's just like doing some wild things at the shooting ranges, right? So yeah, it was impressive to see. The car chase scenes, like it's everything you could want in an action movie. These movies have them, so I give them props. Trying different angles. This is a weird angle. I kind of just like. I don't really like that one that much. This angle was working, right? Yeah, there you go. Smooth as eggs, baby. So yeah, they're good movies. I'm excited to see the fourth. I watched The Mask again. I haven't seen that since I was a kid, and honestly, it held up well. I mean, Jim Carrey's performance is just crazy in that movie, right? It's just so original. The colors are cool. Like that movie actually aged better than you would think. I mean, the effects are a little outdated, but it actually worked because it's cartoony. Like it's supposed to be cartoony like that. It's not meant to look like realistic, so it actually still worked. And the thing that's funny is like I saw a couple clips from Son of the Mask, which came out like 10 years later, 11 years later, and the effects look no better. Like effects got way more advanced in that time. The time from 1994 to 2005. So I don't know, but that movie's supposed to be horrible. Son of the Mask. I never seen it. I probably never will. Well, that's not true. Maybe I would watch it, but I mean, Jamie Kennedy he ain't Jim Carrey. He's just not. I mean, no one is. That's kind of a one of a kind actor. And he brought that movie to life. I would honestly give The Mask 8 Zeus slaps. It's kind of a cult classic at this point, right? I could see a 7. It's about a 7 or 8, but 7 seemed a little low based on the originality of it. I think I would give it an 8 because there's not a lot of movies like that. I actually can't think of another one. I'm sure there's something that's like similar, but I can't think of one off the top of my head. So I give him credit. What else did I see? Cable Guy. Cable Guy was like a 6 Zeus Slaps guy. It was a good idea. It wasn't fully executed well. I've heard people complain about it. I think it's just a very hit and miss movie for people. I think it hit slightly more than it missed for me, but it definitely felt like they left some on the table. It wasn't really Jim Carrey's fault. I think he did what he could. People always say that was like a bad script, right? Or I shouldn't say people always say. One of the criticisms of the movie is that it had a bad script. So perhaps that's the case. I apologize for the Born Identity style shaky cam that I have on some of these. Well, I was going to say, see, I'm holding the camera. You can't see that because I'm holding it. So you can't actually see that I'm holding it if I'm holding it currently, right? Let's see. Trying to set it up in different ways. Let's give the old hand a break. All right, there we go. I really like that. Okay, better. Okay, actually not too bad today. Not too bad. You know, I like to look nice for the show. That boy's in there. Anyway, yes. So I watched The Mask. Again, rewatch it. Cable Guy, John Wick 1 through 3. I did want to say that unless it's in a joking context, people who over exaggerate are the worst thing ever. That's a joke. Some of y'all will get it, some of you won't. But no, there's just so much over exaggeration lately, and I'm gonna get into that later. But it gets so annoying. Like nothing can ever just be like okay anymore, you know? Or just like everything's either the worst thing ever, the best thing ever. It's a lot. It gets to be a lot sometimes. It's draining. It's exhausting. I'm a pro failure. I fail at everything that I do. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm gonna have another language breakdown. I gotta do more of these. I think I announced I was gonna do that more, and then I just didn't do it more. So I got another language breakdown for you this week. And the breakdown is for the term bad bitch. Really like 2 negative things, right? 2 negative things. Bad bitch. Bad, negative. Bitch, negative. Right? Put them together, make a positive thing. I know it's slang. People have been saying that for years. I'm bad. Oh, say Jack, that is a bad outfit. That was in one of the Superman movies, right? One of the early Superman movies. They had random exploitative racism, if you can believe that. Maybe that's Superman's true power above all else. It's random exploitative racism, blaxploitation, as it were. Maybe that is the true meaning of being super. No, I'm just playing. But yeah. So it basically just sounds like you're a bad person and you're also a bitch, if that makes you a bad bitch. I think some of y'all got that confused. Like, I think that's what you actually mean when you say it, but it comes across as meaning like, oh, I'm a super attractive, like, badass woman, you know, who could do anything she wants. That's basically what it seems like, right? So I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. I'm just throwing these ideas out there. That's what it sounds like when you say it. I don't know if you're aware. You know, you can't all be bad. You can't all be bad. I know people want to be bad. You can't all be bad, man. You can't all be the best. You can't all like most people think they're smarter than most people, right? That doesn't even work. It's not how it works. I think there's just, and maybe it's not like that in the Eastern world as much. I get that sense that it's not. that there's not that much ego where it's like, I'm the best at this, I'm the best at that, like I'm the smartest, I'm the most attractive, you know? Like I feel like it's more, maybe it's more of a meritocracy. Because in America, it's like everybody just thinks that the best and the smartest at everything, and it's like no, it can't be like that. We gotta like have like play to your strengths, but your strengths ain't everything unless you're me. I mean, look at this face. I said that as like it's kind of a weird angle right now. It's giving me like a chub, like some chub here, some extra little chub. Don't forget your chubs. I will say that. Never forget your chubs. Shout out to Ritza Pizza, Upland, California. One of the best pizza places in Southern California. I could say that now. I'm getting older. I've been around the block. You know, I know what's good pizza, what's not. I mean, you know, it might not be as good as it is in Chicago or New York, but hey, it goes hard. And actually, I think it is. I think it stacks up with that because I've actually ordered pizza from there. Like, had it shipped and you cook it in a pizza oven, you know, so it can't be that fucking different, you know. If you're getting pizza from there, it ships quickly. So it's like the same thing, you know. Their ingredients, it's not like they're cutting it off the animals. It's not like they're getting the milk directly from the animals, so it ain't that different. I've had it, you know. There's good New York style pizza places here that taste like the New York ones in New York. But yeah, anyway, a little too far. I figured out like a loophole when I make comments. If I want to insult someone in the comments, as long as I don't say anything that actually is like insulting or like could be possibly seen as offensive, I'm good. So I started like just being sarcastic as fuck because there's no way to prove sarcasm. The algorithm can't prove sarcasm. So the other day, this guy was, he was probably dissing Westbrook, I think. He was saying something about Westbrook. So I was surprised. A lot of people are going down this guy. Well, he went to like a Westbrook fan page to do this. So it's like, all right, you kind of knew what you were getting into. Like, you're kind of like trying to be an asshole and piss people off. So can't be that mad. But I told him like, hey, bro, save some women for the rest of us. You know they can't resist that neck chin. So it was one of those things where he had like a chin, you know those guys where it's like this, like their neck is here and their chin's here and there's just like no separation. They just got that neck chin where it's like, oh yeah, like that, like that's how it looks pretty much, like a neck chin. That's what he had. I'm like, yeah, he could try to report that. What are they gonna say? Like, because it looks like I'm complimenting you. What are they gonna say? There's no way to prove it. I figured out the loopholes on this, you know. It's like, I'm sure that guy was pissed, but there's nothing he can do. Absolutely nothing. But you know who's down bad, even possibly worse than that guy, is Facebook. Facebook will send me notifications. I don't go on there, right? It'll send me notifications that people that I'm friends with commented on posts. And I'm just like, I don't care. Like, I don't even know who this person is. They're commenting on some random post. Like, why are you? It'll tell me that they posted, then it'll say, oh, they commented on their own post. Like, it'll send me that notification later. And I'm just like, why? I'm not on here. They like keep trying to draw you back in. It'll send you stuff like, oh, there have been like 10 plus posts since the last time you were on here. You should check it out. It's like, no, clearly I don't want to, you know, clearly I'm not into it. What do you think of paying for a blue check through Meta? I forgot. Is it just called Meta now? Is it even called Facebook or is it just called Meta? What is it? What's the app actually called? I'm going to look at it right now. It might just be called Meta. I know that they're like, it's like a whole confusing thing. No, it still says Facebook. I don't know. Not sure. It's just Facebook, I guess. I thought it was. I think Meta's the company that owns Facebook and Instagram, right? Is that what it is? Is that the difference? Anyway, Meta. Pretty meta, if you ask me. But yeah, they'll do that. What do you think of paying for the blue check? That's been a thing. I've seen a lot more blue checks popping up this week. People paying for the blue checks. I don't think I could. I don't know if I would do it. It feels cheap, you know. It's like you kind of have to earn a blue check, or you had to before. Now it's like you just pay and you have a blue check. Something about that's kind of weird. I seen somebody was upset that it wouldn't let businesses do that. I'm like, of course it's not going to let businesses do that. If you just start letting anyone verify, think about that. Like a business, they want proof that you're real. They want proof that you're not there to rip people off. So of course they're not going to just let a business be like, well, this is what I look like. So once you put that check, like it's actually it's the worst for business. What if you were just running a scheme, like a music artist getting a check like that they paid for? It's like, all right, whatever. Like they wanted to look more important than they really are, I guess. But like a business owner doing that, paying for the blue check when when really their whole thing might just be a pyramid scheme or whatever. Like that's why you can't do that. You can't just let those guys like be able to say that they're legit, basically. Oh yeah, I'm legit. Look, I got a blue check. You can trust me, like, because that's where it comes from. I seen someone complain about it, but when it didn't take me long to think of like why they would do that, and I don't even know. I haven't read anything from Facebook to tell me that, or from Instagram to tell me that. But I mean, I can guess that that's why. It makes sense. I don't know what happened there. My hair just like went down a little. All right. Anyway, yeah. So. So it's been an interesting time, I'd say. Okay, what else was I gonna get into? Yeah, I don't know if I'd pay for the blue check. I saw anytime I see these guys with that Salvador Dali stash, it's like hard not to laugh. Like the one that goes, it's like the wax stash that like very dramatic and stuff. And a lot of people don't know this, but fun fact, the way that those actually work, like the only way to get your stash to do that is by using another man's cum. Who knew? I mean, I would never know that, but that's what that's what it is. Sorry, that's funny. Also not homophobic. It's a scientific fact that the gays have mustaches. No, but that is like, it is more common in the gay community to just have like a mustache, It's like just a mustache. Don't say that because I have a mustache. I'm talking about just the mustache. Either a firefighter or a gay guy or a gay firefighter. So no, I'm playing. I'm just playing, man. Don't take me seriously. But that Salvador Dali mustache is always goofy. I'm sorry. I always laugh. Like I saw this guy with it and I was laughing. I think he knew I was laughing at him. Like, I'm sorry, man. It just looks silly as hell. Like it looks like a 1800s train robber, 1800s bank robber, like an outlaw. That's basically what that looks like. That angle's slightly better, right? I'm gonna change the camera back. So I'm not feeling that. I wasn't feeling that angle too much. Anyway, I don't know what it is. It's like from that angle, my forehead just looks huge from that angle. I guess it looks fine right now. My hair looks all like very manicured right now. It's just like anyway, I like this cool action angle. It's making my forehead look weird. Like it doesn't look that weird from the other angles. From the one angle where it's sitting up here, it's looking weird to me. You know what it is? It's probably just because it's like up above. So it's making my forehead look like bigger. 9 head. Check out my eyes. Anyway, yes. My beard's looking nice today, right? Are you feeling that, ladies? You feeling that beard? You feeling that, men? My male fans? You like how that looks? You're like, oh, I wish I could grow a beard like him. I wish I could do that, but I'm a little bitch. I have inferior DNA. No, my chromosomes are all little bitch chromosomes. It's so stupid. Yeah. So Instagram is getting rid of the Reels bonuses for creators. I saw they already did because I had a little bit of money racked up and it just disappeared. I'm just like, man, Instagram just gets whacker and whacker by the day, I swear. They're just always doing something stupid like that that hurts the smaller creators. And it's like, why? Why? You know, like, why can't you just let people live? Why do you got to play these games like this? Like, what's the point, man? I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand it. Just let people do their thing. Let people, like, live their lives and be happy. Why you gotta, like, interfere and, like, ruin it for everyone? It's just a dick move. Like, nobody likes that. Nobody likes that. But anyway, like, it's just annoying. It just feels like they're always, like, shutting down the avenues for smaller creators to make some money. It's like, unless you're corporate, unless you're, like, approved by Instagram itself, unless you're, like, a corporate sponsor or whatever, a record label's paying for you, like, you don't get that. You don't get that treatment. So I just think that's kind of trash on their part. And they're always doing that. It's just to squeeze some more money out of it, you know. They don't want to pay people. It's like, people are bringing that much attention to your website. They deserve some money. Like, we shouldn't all just, you know, it's very difficult to make money on there anyway. And now you have made it almost impossible. It's just dumb. The most I ever made was like a couple $100 on there, I think. Because it takes a lot. Like, as soon as I started making money, they shut me down. Just whack. Like, it was like, I started getting hit with all these violations over stuff that didn't even make sense. So, I don't know. It's old. And then as soon as I get my monetization back, I barely get to do anything, and now they're taking the monetization away, basically, like, for everyone, or probably not everyone. I bet you the big accounts are still getting broken off some bread, right? They always find a way to do that somehow. But anytime it's the smaller accounts, we don't have any money. I'm like, multi-billion-dollar company. Like, we are the people. If I'm one of the people that's creating a lot of the content on your app, like, I don't deserve to be punished. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, I'm one of the ones that contributes. I'm one of the reasons people are there. I mean, I'm not the biggest reason, but I'm a reason why people go on the app. So, even though it's crazy, like, how low my engagement has been for so long, it just fell off so hard, and now, like, no one. You know, I'm looking at, like, I have friends that have, like, a fraction of my followers, but they get, like, so much more in terms of engagement, and it's just crazy. I know that I'm shadow banned, and it's just really frustrating sometimes. It's just trash, you know. So you got to fight for every ounce of your headspace these days. They're just trying to monopolize every part of your headspace. They want to own everything in that head of yours. Like, have you constantly thinking about their products and their things. You got to fight. You have to fight for it, truthfully. Like, there's no other way. This is a bad angle. Look at that. Look at that dumb neck beard. That's not a neck beard, but I'm not afraid. I show you all the flaws, you know. I show them all. Like, this, my hair looks like Lego hair right now. It's just silly. It's all greased up. Greased up. Greased up. The back of my head, it looks like a bird's nest. What is going on right here? Anyway, actually, I shouldn't do this because there's people that just listen to this, I'm sure, so they can't see all that. But there's, well, no, they can now, right? It should be, the video should be visible everywhere. Personally, I don't watch the videos of like other people's podcasts. I just like listen. But a lot of you actually watch, so you gotta be conscious of that. I would, it's like, I don't know. So they'd rather let these like destructive clone artists thrive on these platforms than like original artists that have like a positive message. You could tell. It's like, what gets the publicity? It's like all this music about shooting people, killing people, fucking bitches, getting money, you know, like on the women's end, it's all super sexual stuff. It's all like, you know, talking about how their pussy's better than other girls and all this stuff. And it's just, you know, basically putting down other women. Like, that's that's how theirs is. Like, and then the male side is like all this like thug rap that's just about killing people and shit. It's just like, what the fuck? But they don't have time to promote any positivity. It's like that's the type of stuff that makes you feel like there is an agenda. Like they want to push the destructive stuff. Like they kind of want the what's it called? The other like wealth classes to just destroy each other, just cannibalize each other. The ultra elite, that's what it feels like they're doing when they push this stuff. They know it's destructive. They know it's not good for people. They know that like pushing positive stuff could actually help those people get out of the circumstances. Because make no mistake, they don't want people to get out of like their bad circumstances. Because that if they got out of those circumstances, they might be a threat to take their stuff. These people just want to hang on to their stuff in any way they can. So, and a lot of times it's not that nefarious. It's just them taking what they believe is a safe bet. It's like, well, sex sells. This stuff sells. All this stuff about like fucking people's bitches and all that. That's what people want to hear. So that's what they aim for. That's what they put on their, that's what they promote. That's what they promote on their platforms. We forget that all the time. The TikTok ban seems wrong to me. It seems like they're just trying to, the US meddles all over the world. They're trying to ban TikTok because it's too invasive here. It's like, y'all meddle everywhere. Y'all are always in everyone else's business. And it's like, oh no, we can't have China making money and knowing what we're up to. It's like, but you do that everywhere, including China. Like, like that's what you do. On a positive note, I wanted to say I worked out every single day in March. So the shake weight is really making a difference in my routine. My forearms are way stronger. No, but on a real note, yeah, like I worked out every day in March. Which doesn't sound crazy, but it's actually pretty hard to do that, to really go every single day. I haven't missed a day since February 18th, so it's been a while. And the only reason I missed that day is because I went to visit Jazzy in Vegas, which you'll see. You'll see. Or no, I don't. No, actually, that was when I visited for her birthday. I forgot. No, she was on the Vegas one. That's right. She was. I forgot about that. I did get her on. Cool. Yeah, that's cool, actually. I'm glad that I got to do that with her. It's nice to make these memories, Well, actually, no, I'll get into that first. I want to get into something positive, but I might as well get into something negative first. Then after chaos, baby, greed holds like the rest of society back. It really does. Like other people's greed, like one man's greed destroying so much. It's like, so greed is the reason why we don't have like a better rail system in LA. It's the reason why we don't have a better rail system in other parts of the country. Because that's a direct threat to the automobile industry. So that's part of it. Greed is the reason why we don't have like a good healthcare system in this country compared to other countries. It's like all these like big pharma conglomerates want to make their money off of like they sell, so they get you sick and then sell you the cure, and then that cure comes with side effects. So now you got to take other stuff to treat the side effects, and then that stuff that you took to treat those side effects causes other side effects. So now you got like 20 different things you're treating, and it just keeps going on and on and on and on. And that's how life is. That people don't think about that. It's like they don't want you to live like a full life. Like they want to get you out of there. They want to do little things to milk every last penny out of you for themselves. So yeah. I want to get into positive stuff though. I don't want to go into all that, so that's why I got it out the way. Because what I was gonna say, I guess this isn't positive, but to me, if it's funny, it's positive. So they say Steven Seagal's black scent rivals Aquafina. It really does. Like they should do a movie together. They honestly should. Where like I don't know who would be the sidekick. No, it'd still be funnier if Aquafina was the sidekick to Steven Seagal, and they're both just doing their black accents, like their fake black accents, which they both do. It'd be hilarious to watch, like Steven Seagal. Because there's like movies where he's like, yeah, oh, I forgot what movie that was, but one of the things he kept saying was, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Steven Seagal saying, Lord have mercy. You've been playing with the wrong guy. Like he was talking like that in the movie, like doing like this like Cajun accent or something, Creole accent, and I was just like, what is going on? And he did that for the whole movie, so like it's definitely worth watching because every line in that movie that he says is hilarious. Because I mean, he does the accent okay, you could tell what he's doing, and it just is so ridiculous that he chose to make that choice. And the thing that's funny about watching his movies is like, even though it's a movie, it's not real. The characters always have to take time to compliment him. Like they're like, I don't want to admit it, but you are a genius. It's like, what? Or he is a genius. It's like, what? He hasn't been a genius this entire movie. Now you're calling him a genius, and it just seems like it's a bit too far. There's a lot of stuff that like that with him, where people just overly compliment him. And I don't even know if he likes it, but it's hilarious. I will say that. So yeah, Steven Seagal. Man, what an interesting person. We got to get him and Aquafina in a movie, honestly. But for now, you know what? I'm going to get into your KZRO Sports. KZRO Sports. So maybe the biggest deal overall is San Diego State versus UConn in the national championship. San Diego State made it all the way to the national championship. I can't believe that. You know, I mean, they always were a threat like going in because of their defense. Like they had one of the best defensive teams. So there's always like a good shot they're going to make it. But it's pretty crazy. The furthest they made it before this was the Sweet 16, I believe. They've never made it past that, as far as I know. I think they've made the Sweet 16 twice. So it's crazy to think that. And now they're playing for the championship. I hope they win. You know, San Diego's one of my favorite cities. I'd like to see them win. It'd be cool. And I mean, UConn's won a lot, so we're all good with that. The Lakers and Clippers are both looking good. They still, you know, the Suns still need more time. I think people immediately picked them to win the West when Durant went there. I'm like, I don't know about that. They're still going to need some time. Durant has been injured. He's only played like a couple games for the Suns. So when people say all that, like after a game, they're like, this is the greatest thing ever. They're winning the championship. It's like, I don't know about that. We got to see how it plays out, you know? Can't just assume it's going to work out. Because honestly, there's a good chance it's not going to work out. So, kind of funny. I don't know why, like, that was just immediately where we went with that. People just overreact, man. That's just the way it goes. That's the name of the game these days. Like, overreaction is normal. So, is it even, if everyone's overreacting, is it even overreacting anymore? Or is that just reacting? But yeah, the Lakers and Clippers are good. We'll see what happens. Westbrook is playing really well in the Clippers. I'm glad to see him do well. You know how I felt about his stint with the Lakers. It really kind of put me in a weird spot because, like, I don't want to not like the Lakers, and that's not going to happen, but I definitely did kind of, like, dislike the fans. It's like, these motherfuckers are whack. They're, like, so rude for no reason, you know? It's like, this guy's on your team, and you're, like, booing him and insulting him. Like, that seems so weird to me to think of. You know, it's like, he's not like trying to make your team lose. Just if he doesn't do well, he doesn't do well, but he's not like actively trying to make your team worse. Like it's not like a personal thing, you know? So I thought that was lame. But the baseball's back. The Dodgers are looking good early. Baseball's back. Let's see if the Dodgers won today. I'll give you a quick update. They were about, last I saw was the 9th inning. We'll see if they maintain that. It might be in extra innings now, so maybe I won't have an actual update for you. Maybe I will. Let's see who won. The Diamondbacks won. Dodgers lost. Dodgers suck. Actually, I take that back. No. So they lost. Who was their pitcher today? I mean, they didn't do bad. Who was? I think it was Noah Syndergaard, right? Yeah, he did. He did pretty well. 1 earned run, 4 hits, 6 strikeouts. That's not bad. Then Gratterall gave up a earned run in the ninth. That's the thing, Gratterall. Everyone was like on him, and I was like, man. I mean, he's good. He has good potential, but he's pretty mistake prone. Like he makes mistakes, so I don't think he's quite ready. And I would say that, and like people would, some people, certain people would be like, no, he's ready. He's ready now. I'm like, no, not really. And he always proves me right. Like, believe me, I want him. I mean, I always want, you always want your team to have more good players. I want him to be ready. I want him to be great. I want him to be phenomenal. I actually like him as a character, as a person too. Like, I don't want him to not be good. He's on my team, but like, I'm not even saying he's bad, but he's not that proven yet, We got to see how it's going to go. It could work out. It could not. It's still early. So yeah. Yeah, baseball is back. So I'll be tuned in for the Dodgers and pretty much the Dodgers only. Roy Jones Jr. was outpointed by Anthony Pettis in Pettis' boxing debut. Bad look for Roy. I guess it counted as an official fight too. Just like, why did this happen? And it's just a bad look. Like, Roy, if you're going to lose, don't, like, it's bad enough. He's taken some horrible L's in his career. Now you're losing to a guy who's never fought in boxing. Like, that's terrible, Roy. Come on now. But I digress. That's it for your KZRO Sports this week. I'll be back next week with more sports, baby. And now, let us read from the book of Grav. Ain't a race if you come in last in it, Don't mind me, I'm too passionate, And I come with everlasting wit. Your blood will get blasted when I splash in it. Don't test me cause I'm aggravated. And you don't want that bag deflated. I pop these rappers frequently. No matter how they try to sequence me. Weak MCs can't compare to Z. When I'm here, there's nowhere to be. I ain't on fuck shit, you philosophize. When you wake up, slap the crust off your eyes. They must be the sleepiest sheep. Rewind that, play it back, peep, we get deep. I'm saying you gotta be a chameleon. Switch it up so they see resilience. I don't do sideways circus shows. Never nervous though, I work this flow. I won't let them obscure this goal. Trying to maintain the purest soul, I don't do sideways circus shows. Never nervous though, I work this flow. I won't let them obscure this goal. Try to maintain the purest soul. Grav. Big Gravy. And that's our show for this week. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. I told you I was going to get you out of here earlier this week. I got to put more music on the show. It had music before. I know it doesn't now. Born Supremacy Camera, bro. That's how it's going. That's how it's going right now. This action mode, you know the fucking bars. That'd be funny for that to turn into like a GIF or something. The fucking barbs. That's too fun, man. My nose looks pointier this week. Maybe it got pointier. Maybe I've been lying. I'm sorry, ladies. I don't mean to lie. Speaking of ladies, man, like 2 of them flaked on me this week. What the hell, man? One of them had car problems. I was like, I could pick you up. And then she was like busy or whatever, or like not busy. What'd she say? Oh, she was just stressed and tired. So she was like, you're going to hate me. You're going to hate me. Like, come on now. Come on now. I don't know why. I think they just get in their own heads. They get nervous, but they know that sounds like a bad excuse. That's what happens sometimes. So I don't take it personally. It is weird though. Sometimes it's like one girl's like, she hits me up every day, double text and shit. And like, then, when the moment comes, it's like, oh, I got stuff to do. I can, like, I think she just gets nervous. I've hung out with her like 3 times. And each time before, she's like all about like, oh, things are going to happen this time. Like, and then they never happen. And I'm like, I'm fine with that, but don't say that going in. Like, she's talking about we're going to do sexual things. I'm like, okay, I don't know. We'll see. And then like the moment comes and like she's too nervous. It's like, okay, that's fine, but maybe don't try to advertise that because then it just makes things confusing. So anyway, yeah, thank you for listening. I'll be back. This isn't the last episode. Well, actually, I don't know that. There's no way for me to predict that. I could get banned tomorrow. But much love, much peace. I hope you find happiness.